to what changes would or could happen.
I could speak to one because Marj used to go to the Another Way drop-in center, and I don't think Michael mentioned that's peer run. So when you go in there, you're talking to people who've had similar experiences to you, and therefore they're not coming across a chasm of, well, devaluation or indifference or ignorance. They've been there, and they treat you like an equal.
Well, at Another Way in Sunrise House, I was treated pretty good, but at Westview and Sunrise House, Washington County Mental Health, I was treated pretty good, and Another Way I was treated pretty good. Most everyone or everyone treated me good at Sunrise House or Another Way, but at Howard Center and at Westview, some clients and staff treated me so terrible, I just don't think I could ever go back.
And were you going to say something, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I think Laura's point about peer-run services is so critically important. Even the research shows that when you have a good peer-run program, that it really helps people. And when you talk to people that have received help in those kind of places, it's it's just like night and day, and it's because peers come from a different point of view, and it's one, people are treated as people and not the diagnosis like I forget your name, what you said, but also having come through it themselves, they really know that it's possible to come through. You can be positive. And it's not coercive because we understand that forcing people to do stuff is just not helpful at all. It's very counterproductive, and we credit people's own views about what they want, and it's proven to be very helpful. And so that is probably, I think, the most important thing that the system should embrace much more fully than it has, is the use of peer-run services.
Well, some of the clients, though, at Howard Center and at Westview treated me terrible, and some of the staff treated me terrible at Howard Center and Westview. But I want to emphasize that some of the clients at Howard Center and Westview treated me good, and at Sunrise House and at Another Way, the clients and the staff treated me good. But one of the main things that they didn't work things out for years, and I got physically sick from several hundred misunderstandings in the Vermont mental health system, but it almost destroyed me when some of those clients and staff treated me good at Howard Center and Westview, but when some of the clients and staff at Howard Center and Westview treated me so terrible, it almost destroyed me. It didn't destroy me because I'm still here, but I was treated rotten.
Can I respond to that, Marj?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's a really excellent point. And when I say peer, I'm really not talking about patients, because one of the things I'm talking about people, former patients.
Well, there are some of the people
recovered.
that treated.
And one of the great myths
they treated me
in
terrible.
mental health is that once people get diagnosed with mental illness or quote mentally ill, that's a lifelong condition, and it's simply not true.
I know, but some of them treated me bad.
And it's just not any peer. It's got, that's why I said, a good peer-run program. So.
But they treated me bad, some of them.
Laura, I think, wants to say something.
Yeah, it isn't just that something's peer-run. There can be atrocious peers, too, I'm sorry to say. It's the philosophy, the difference between how these things are organized and the standards that they use for what they do, so that if you incorporate into what you do that there is a respect for people's differences and that people aren't to be abused and that rights are to be respected, whereas I think, unfortunately, in many conventional services, rights are to be disregarded, rights are to be undermined, rights are to be not taken seriously. It's a very different approach, and the other different approach has to do with not applying the biomedical model to everything so that, again, you see the person and not the disease. But I would never make a blanket statement that just because something is done by peers that somehow makes it magically different. It doesn't. In some parts of the country, they've incorporated peers into things that are highly coercive. And have them more as handmaidens to conventional services. It all depends on where you go. Another way has been around for like 25 years, since the early 80s. And it
That's
came,
in Montpelier.
it came out of more
It's a
of a
drop-in
rights
center,
movement.
a day-
It's a drop-in center,
Day.
not daycare. It's
yeah.
a peer run, and it provides some measure,
There's-
depending on what year and who ran it,
Oh, it's been
of
longer than
advocacy and support.
Right, there's